I forgot to close out episode 15. So thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and share so the channel can grow. Full reaction to the episode will be on Patreon. The link will be below. Okay, now let's get right into episode 16. The title is A. We know A has a lot of meanings in The Walking Dead. So let's see what comes up here. Hopefully this episode we get back to Rick, Michonne, and Carl, because that's why I'm here. Okay, let's go. Oh, this is back at the prison.
Any trouble?
No. You had some?
So this has to be a flashback.
Yeah. A little.
Hershel. Oh, Rick's hands bloodied and his face, oh my gosh, looked like he was doused in blood and he's shaking. We know this is the aftermath. And in the car is his loved ones, his family, his life. And him sitting on the outside, bloodied because of what he did to protect them. Him on the outside protecting his family, safe in the cocoon in the car behind him. I'm glad they're no longer at the prison. It was safe, but it's just, I want them in a house. And look at them camping. Oh my gosh.
How hungry are you? Scale of 1 to 10.
15. 28.
Yeah. It's been a while. I'm gonna go check the snares.
Can I go with you?
How else you gonna learn? Hey, you too.
You too, Michonne. Wherever he goes, you're going. Wherever they go, you're going. It's us.
We'll stay another day or two. Get some more rest.
Finish healing up.
See?
I'm almost there.
So Rick said they'll stay another day or two and rest up a little more. And Michonne says, and to heal some more. And Rick is saying, I'm almost there. So you see the concern. She's expressing her concern. Since she found them, she's been looking after Rick and wanting him to take care because she cares. She's taking care of him, like looking out for him. Rick looks at her and said, I'm almost there. It must feel nice. It must feel good to him to have someone look out for him. He's not the only one looking out for everyone. Well, yes, he had Hershel, who cared very much and was like a father to him, looked out for him that way. But I'm talking about in the romantic sense because Lori wanted someone to take care of her. One minute when she thinks Shane could do the job better, she waffled to Shane. And when she thinks Rick could do the job better, she waffled to Rick. So she was just the constant helpless damsel. Here, it's not just that Rick isn't leading and providing, taking care of Michonne and Carl, because he is. But it's so beautiful to see some reciprocation in that Michonne is looking out for his well-being, and you can see that he appreciates it. He's like, yeah, I'm getting there. I'm almost healed. I love them. They're so cute. They're so lovely. You know, they're just a lovely unit. And you see when Rick speaks to Michonne, he takes her in. He focuses on her. And you see how long he held that look on her when he answered her. It's a look of thankfulness and appreciation. Rick has always been in awe of Michonne. It shows in the very little things he does. Andrew Lincoln is a very detailed actor. He's very good.
We're gonna tell them who we are.
But how do you say that? I mean, who are we?
Who are we? Survivors. That's who you are, Carl. You're survivors. Michonne and that katana. look at them. There's just one walker and all of them. Michonne's katana, Rick pulled out his python, and Carl with his gun. It was like overkill, don't you think? They're walking up on that walker as a badass trio.
It's a small one. It'll do.
What? They got a little rabbit.
Tie one on both ends, and tighten one side to a branch. Now see how the ground here.
It's a trail?
That's right. That's where you want to set the noose. Someone's going by, have to run this way. Right into the trap.
I just got it. When Rick was explaining how he set the trap with the trail, they're on a trail. There was a trap set for them, and they're following the trail exactly how Rick explained it. They're not seeing it because, I guess, they're hungry and they want it to be true. They want it to be a sanctuary. So they're not analyzing it objectively because it's what they want. Because if you look at it objectively, with how things have devolved in this world, it's more chances than not that this place is no bueno.
Call, stop!
Why does there is an opening? Why doesn't he run in that direction? He had a way of escape. So I don't know what that was all about. But you see how cautious Rick is, that he didn't want Carl going to that one stranger. Yet he's going to a place where he thinks a group of strangers could be safe.
Ever since I gave Glenn my watch, it's always right now to me. It's early.
He's always right now.
You're not going to need that.
Oh, this is when Hershel was turning Rick into Farmer Rick. Nothing beats the katana. I'm sorry. You see how much energy Rick expends using that axe. That axe is not a good weapon for the apocalypse. And it can get stuck in the skull. And trying to pull it, no. Katana, easy breezy.
Hey, look.
The car. Oh my gosh, these walkers just disintegrated into the ground.
That was one small rabbit. Something.
So they're using the car as shelter for the night.
Have you noticed? That's all we talk about anymore. Food.
So they share that one tiny little rabbit between the three of them. Rick said that was small. Michonne said, but it was something. Oh, they're so hungry. You see, that's why they're not listening to the whatever instinct is telling them. They're not listening to the alarm bells. Again, that lesson with Rick and the trap and how it's laid out for them. It should be ringing alarm bells, but they're so hungry. Their hopes are riding on, let this be a true sanctuary. I can't blame them.
I forgot what this feels like.
Me too. Hope we're able to forget again soon.
They weren't on the road trying to survive. As Rick said, it's been a while since he forgot what it was like. Yeah, being so hungry and being exposed out. He went through that with when the farm fell, right? Yeah, when the farm fell and their cars ran out of gas and they were just on the road scavenging for food. And Michonne, we didn't see her journey, but she was out there on her own for quite a while because she was at a camp first from the flashback she had with Mike and his friend and Andre. She had to go on runs, but then after that, after her camp fell, it was just her. At least Rick was with other people.
Folks, they're taking people in. They have to be strong. They have to have a system.
Wonder if the whole thing's legit.
See, Michonne just said, I wonder if it's really legit. Maybe Rick and Michonne would have been able to analyze things a little bit more deeply because they're smart, being able to read situations, read people, read situations. They're highly, highly intelligent. So maybe if they had the opportunity to discuss it more amongst themselves, maybe they would figure out it's a trap. But again, there's something in the way of them being able to look at things objectively. Hunger pangs.
You let people win.
You did?
There's something out there, Rick. Don't brush it off.
So did the devil.
You heard right.
Yeah, it's always the things, and don't get to know until we know.
Don't get to know until we know. They're exactly what I say, that if they had time, they would discuss it more amongst themselves. Rick dismissed the noise he heard, said they let people in. You know, they're strong. They were strong at the prison, Rick and his group. And then Michonne counters. So did the governor. As I said, the chances of people being benevolent in the breakdown of society, you have to go in with a degree of skepticism until you can assess the situation, if you go at all. I think just like how Carol and Tyrese were at that cottage, I think the best thing for Rick and Michonne and Carl was to be at a home. I'm like, Joe really messed us up. But again, that's the world they're in. They're just constantly in danger because of the devolution of society, because of the breakdown of observance of law. The basest of human nature can roam free. And that's what's happening in their world. It's not innocent until you're proven guilty in this world. You're guilty until proven innocent. The only good is that the others in the group were headed toward Terminus. Other than that, if they could find a place they could settle and secure, and they wouldn't be able to secure it completely, but if they could lay low where people would not know that they're there, they could hide if anyone came. If they had an escape plan or a plan how to hide until those people move on, hopefully, like Joe and his group. Oh my gosh. If they were in another home, that's what I meant. The escape plan in which have another home they would go in and hide until Joe and his gang leave the neighborhood. And they would have put away supplies in certain places so that they would be able to access it. And if they see that whoever came through aren't leaving, then they would leave like how they left now, but they would have supplies and everything, and they would probably leave at night or when it's safe. Anyway, I went off on a tangent.
This isn't even there anymore.
And there's Joe.
You screwed up, asshole.
Just never ends. It never ends. Rick is always having to face.
I was thinking of turning in for the night on New Year's Eve. Now, who's gonna count down the ball dropper with me, huh? 9 Mississippi. 8 Mississippi. Go.
Daryl.
You're gonna let him go. These are good people.
I'll, of course, have to speak for him and all, because your friend here strangled him in the bathroom.
You want blood? I get it. Take it from me, man.
This man killed our friend. You say he's good people. See, now that right there is a lie. First, we're gonna beat Daryl to death. Then we'll have the girl. Then the boy. Then I'm gonna shoot you, and then we'll be square. I got him. Oh, it's gonna be so much worse now.
Where's Carl's gun? Carl usually has his gun on him. This is horrific.
Come on.
And they're still beating Daryl. So, oh my gosh.
What the hell are you gonna do now, sport?
That's what he's gonna do. Disgusting. Gross, man. Yes, Michonne. Yes.
I'll kill him. I'll kill him. Let the boy go. He's mine.
He's mine, Rick says. Yeah. Please. Please. After what you were doing to his son, please. Oh my gosh. Rick is gutting him. Rick. Oh my god. We're gonna stop.
What is?
Those feral pigs in the forest. It doesn't take much to domesticate them. Same with the horses we've seen. We have seeds. We can grow our own food. It's time we started planting.
Hershel and Rick.
Okay.
Can't do it myself.
Rick is like, okay. Go ahead and plant, Hershel.
I teach you how to do this. You teach Carl. We're going to be here a while. The war's over, Rick.
No, we don't know that.
I'm talking about you. He needs his father to show him the way. What way are you going to show him? We can make this better now.
Things changing in here doesn't change things out there.
No, it doesn't. But we're here today, right now. This is a good place to start.
We're here today, right now. Living in today. Hershel always has such great words of wisdom. We're here now. We're here today. And that's how we're supposed to be living, in the now. A lot of us put off living now with the hope to live in tomorrow. We waste and we neglect the now. We forget to live today because we're so focused on tomorrow. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. So live today. Love today. Rick is like, whatever, he's gone. But we know that he did apply what Hershel taught him, at least for a while. And Hershel wasn't telling him to forget about what was out there, because Rick was saying changing what's in here is not going to change what's out there. That's not what Hershel was telling him. Rick swung the complete other way on a pendulum. He went to the other way, the extreme. There's a middle ground. So he came back. And here he is sitting outside, protecting his family, sitting outside. And there's Michonne. Comforting, protecting Carl. Being a mother, she's worried about him. And at least he has that comfort. If Michonne wasn't there, he's still a little boy, in here. He needs that nurturing touch still. Even as an adult, we need that nurturing touch, We all need our mom and our dad, Even when they're no longer with us, that part of us will always want that nurturing touch that only a parent can give.
We should save his drink. You can't see yourself. You can't.
And Daryl is back.
I didn't know what they were. How'd you wind up with them?
Yeah, that's not wiping off anything. It's a lucky thing you were there, Daryl, because you saved them, because he would have shot Rick. Sacrificing yourself for them. That was selfless of Daryl, and I really have to tip my hat to him for that. So far, and in this situation, Daryl has Rick's back. I have to give that to him. He's been a good friend to Rick.
I didn't know what they could do.
Daryl said he didn't know what they could do, but he had an inkling. he had an inkling. Remember what that dude said to him when he was riffing on Daryl being sad, saying it had to be about some woman, some girl, and then he went into that tangent. Right then and there, I was just like, okay, these are some really terrible dudes. You got a clue, Daryl, but I think Daryl was just so wrapped up in his loss of Beth that he's just didn't really take in what they were saying. So him saying, I didn't know. Yeah. Or maybe he thought that one dude was the only one like that and they'd killed him. So, but it is fortunate that he was with them because interrupting Joe saved their lives.
It's not on you. You've been back with us here now.
Us.
That's everything.
There it is again. Rick saying, you being back here with us is everything. So remember I told you the us is Rick, Michonne, and Carl. Rick thinks, see, I was telling you, he's a protagonist. So the us is from Rick's perspective. And that us applies to his little family unit. So here we're hearing him verbalize that. So Daryl, you being with us. Who is us? His little family unit. Carl and Michonne, you being here with us. So I was on the money. I was right. I was right on the money that the protagonist, it was the us is from the protagonist's point of view, and he's speaking it now. So he's giving confirmation everything I've been saying. Daryl, you being here, it means everything to us. He didn't say everything to me, everything to us.
You're my brother.
You're my brother. Daryl needed to hear that because he has no one. You know, after Merle and Rick is saying, you're my brother, it means everything to us, to my family, that you are here. And you are now a part of our family. You mean everything to us. You mean everything to my family, Daryl. And you're my brother. So Rick is taking Daryl in. He's saying, Daryl, your family. Do you notice? Rick didn't say to Michonne, you're my sister. Remember, I told you he claimed Michonne as family, but he did not say what he said to Daryl. He said, Carl needs you. And basically is telling her, help me with it, you know, be my partner in taking care of Carl because Carl needs you. But he didn't say, Michonne, you're my sister. He would never say that to Michonne because Rick is in love with Michonne, right? He defined what his relationship is with Daryl, but he did not verbally define that with Michonne. He just claimed Michonne and told her, I want you to help me with Carl. And she accepted. Then he started referring to them as us, to her and Carl and himself as us. See, those that claim they didn't see anything with Rick and Michonne, they're not watching. They're surface skimming the show. They're not watching. They're not picking up the cues that the actors are given, the detailed body language and looks and everything, the buffet that Andrew Lincoln is laying out before you. They're not picking up and they're not grasping what the writers are putting down and saying. It's all there. It's not hidden. Some of it is subtle, but some of it is loud and in your face. If people are not picking it up, it's because they've been conditioned, or they've conditioned themselves not to see it, or they don't want to see it. So they dismiss it and overlook it. But it's right there.
Hey, what you did last night. Anybody would have done that. No, not that. Ain't all that, but that's me. That's why I'm here now. That's why Carl is. I want to keep him safe. That's all that matters.
That's all that matters. Keeping Carl safe. Keeping his baby safe. On the road again. Look at Michonne. Watching him, just assessing him. And he's not even looking at Michonne, but he feels Michonne looking at him.
You okay?
Yeah.
Because, see, he's asking her, are you okay?
I'm okay.
I know.
How?
Because I'm okay too.
Do you see how he's walking and leaning into her? Do you see Rick's body language? Do you see their body language? You see Michonne again, just walking and just assessing him. She's looking, checking, and Rick feels her, focus on him. And his body is turned into her. He's walking and almost leaning into her. He is focused on her. They're in tune with each other, and their body language is expressing what they're thinking and feeling. That's why he turned and asked, are you okay? And she said yes. And he then told her he's okay without her asking him if he's okay, because he's feeling her. He's feeling what she's communicating to him with her body. Turns and tells her, I'm okay. And she says, I know. And he asks her, how do you know? And she says, because I'm okay. And you didn't see Rick and Michonne coming. She knows he's okay without him saying he's okay, because she's okay. He knew that she was assessing him without seeing her assess him. And you see their body language, Rick walking, leaning into her. And you didn't see Rick and Michonne coming. She says she knows he's okay because she's okay. And look at Michonne. Look at the look she has. Now we know Michonne has feelings for him. Remember I told you at the beginning that we didn't know if Michonne had developed romantic feelings yet for Rick. Now we know. It's clear as day now. Daryl behind them being a third wheel, witness to all of this. Daryl, who knew of Rick's feelings for Michonne in season 4, episode 1, is a party, a witness to this that's going on. Okay, let me go on. I'm not gonna belabor this point anymore. I've said enough, and they have said enough with their body language, their looks, and what they're saying.
We're getting close. Be there before sundown.
Terminus.
Now we head through the woods. We don't know who they are.
At least they're being cautious. They're not just barreling in like Glenn and Maggie and the rest went through the front gates. La, 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 la. It's like Goldilocks. Let's see what's here. Let's see. Is there a bed? Is there food? Is there? Oh my gosh. Terminus.
All spread out. Watch for a while. See what we see. Get ready.
Watch for a while. So I do give the Grimes and Daryl a point for at least showing some cautiousness, some awareness that this situation could not be what they hoped for.
You want to stick with me?
Sorry. Andre and my boyfriend Mike was Andre's father. And our friend Terry at the camp. Just got worse and worse. People were leaving. People giving up.
Terry.
But I didn't. I was coming back from a run. I heard the moans. It was over. Mike and Terry, they were high when it happened, but I let them turn. I made it so they couldn't bite, couldn't scratch. I tied chains around their necks. It was insane. I was sick. It felt like what I deserved. They hid me. The walkers didn't see me anymore. I was just another monster. Your dad brought me back. You did. I see how you've been looking at your dad. You don't have to be afraid of me.
He said he was proud of me. I still have these thoughts.
What thoughts?
I'm not what he thinks I am. I'm just another monster too.
Michonne seeing the way that Carla's been looking at Rick she thinks in probably judgment of Rick, but it's not really judgment. She trying to let Carl know that a parent will go to the ultimate mile for their child. She shared what happened with Andre, Mike, and Terry. She shared what she did to Mike and Terry. She wanted to punish them for not protecting Andre. You know, she chained them up and brought them along with her, and then she discovered that they camouflaged her, that the dead didn't see her while with them. So she started to feel like a monster. And interestingly enough, you know, she's trying to show Carl that Rick is not a monster. He's just doing what he did because of his love for him. And then Carl sharing with her, revealing to her that he himself, Carl, feels like a monster. Rick shared that he was proud of him, and you know that Rick thinks that he's changing, but he still has those thoughts, I guess, to want to kill, and the extreme he saw his father go. I think Carl thinks that he's capable of that too, and that because Rick has been trying to deter him from that, from being a killer, the fact that Carl probably proved or probably liked that Carl thinks that he would let his father down, and if he revealed that he found satisfaction in what Rick did. So he thinks Rick would be disappointed in him for that. He feels like a monster because of these feelings. It's good that he had Michonne there to share those thoughts with, you know, and Michonne is there to reassure him that I am a monster, you know. So Rick told Daryl not anyone would do what I did, because seeing himself as a monster, doing things that no other human being would do, but that's not true. And Michonne sees herself as a monster because of how she responded to her baby not being protected. I guess sharing with the snippet of conversation she had with Rick on the train tracks about being okay, she was letting Rick know that she had no problem with what he did. She had no problem with what he did. And Denai Guerrera shared, a question was asked, when did Michonne know that she had feelings for Rick? And she said it was when Rick bit out Joe's throat. This conversation, the conversation on the tracks with Rick, the look that she gave to Rick when she said, I know you're okay because I'm okay. And what she said to Carl, sharing how Andre died and the rage she felt for Mike not protecting Andre. And here we have it juxtaposed with the extent how far Rick would go to protect Carl. She witnessed it before her eyes. Denai said it's that moment that something switched for Michonne. She said Michonne wasn't conscious that she had developed feelings for Rick, but she had developed feelings for Rick. And that's when she was like, oh, this man will do anything to protect his baby. She would do anything to protect her baby. And
for both Denai and Andy. Denai, you can go first. When did you think was the moment when Michonne fell in love with Rick and vice versa? And speaking of love, happy belated birthday / Valentine's Day to Denai.
Yeah, Uber fan.
Birthday girl right there. When did it first happen?
I used to know this.
No.
You know, I think the thing that made her fall in love with him was the thing that, it was a line that I asked to have added in his last episode, season 9, was it 905? Which is when he's in a hallucination and she's saying, you know, the reason why I fell in love with you or something was because you're a fighter and you never stop, something like that. Y'all know the line, right? Y'all are hardcore fans.
It's a good line.
So you know, I'd asked Angela if I could put that in because I thought that was so specific about her love for him. And I think it really is based on, you know, I think that moment when they're rushing Carl when he's been shot and they're rushing him through the zombies, like by then I think she's in love with him by then. She doesn't know it. She doesn't know it.
Well, they're a family by then, aren't they?
Yeah,
as well?
she doesn't know it. But the thing that she loves is the fact that he is someone. Oh, you know what? I think I know the moment. Where it started to turn into something for her, not consciously. It's when he bit out that guy's throat. Right? Because that's what a man does for his family. You know, and to see that, she's like, oh, hell, now this is get better than this, you know what I mean? I think that was it. That was the
Unfortunately, Mike didn't do. Mike wanted to give up, like how Laurie wanted to give up when Carl was shot.
What are we going for? Where's the happy ending here? This isn't life. This isn't anything close, okay? Not for me, not for us. What's the answer here?
Yeah, well, we have a child. Carl is here in this world now.
Maybe
so
he shouldn't be. Maybe this is how it's supposed to be.
You can't mean that. All right, I can understand that thought crossing your
It
mind.
didn't cross my mind, Rick. I can't stop thinking it. Why do we want Carl to live in this world? If he dies tonight, it ends for him. Tell me why it would be better another way.
You really think it'd be better if we just gave up?
Tell me why it would be better the other way.
So here you have another instance where Rick and Michonne are the same type of people. They are so compatible. Michonne fell for Rick because Rick is a type of man that she would want because he would protect her baby, the one that she loved the most. Rick would do anything for his baby. That is what Michonne values in a man, and she experienced it with Rick. That is the moment where, oh, this is my kind of man. This is Michonne's type of man. 3 monsters, 3 similar souls that all believe that they're monsters. That beautiful little unit, Carl, Michonne, and Rick, so alike, so similar, and they get each other. They love each other, and they're perfect together. They're the best us. They belong together. They were made for each other.